Here's a question. How many people have you led to the Lord through a Facebook argument? Now, I'm willing to bet that number is a big zero. However, faith and facts do in fact go hand in hand. So this week we're going to be talking about apologetics, more specifically, the argument that God is in fact real. Now, there's lots of reasons to believe in the existence of God. Just the fact that we as finite beings can think of an infinite being proves that there must be someone greater who put that thought in our heads. Charles Spurgeon says this about the atheistic worldview: "I'm persuaded that men think there is no God because they wish there were none. They find it hard to believe in God and to go on in sin, and so they try to get an easy conscience by denying his existence." What do you think of that? It's true, the root of our problem is sin, so it makes sense that to soften the blow of our shortcomings, we tell ourselves that it doesn't really matter. We don't have to answer to anyone. We are our own boss. But that's not really true at all, is it? There is a God, and he has placed natural laws and moral absolutes into our world. And without Jesus, we're always going to miss the mark that God has set for us. No amount of knowledge or good works can possibly save us. As we learn how to answer some of the common objections to Christianity this week, we'll also understand the reason behind the objections. Some people are genuinely seeking truth and ask questions not to cause an argument, but to really understand the facts. Others are using questions as a smokescreen. They've probably been hurt by the church or another Christian. Maybe they don't understand why God allows bad things to happen. If we're honest, we struggle with that even as Christians. Regardless of their intent, don't be offended. Instead, respond prayerfully and with the right attitude. 1 Peter 3:15 says, "Always be ready to tell everyone who asks you why you believe as you do." Remember that your primary task is to be a witness. Millions of people have trusted Christ without ever raising one difficult question. So don't assume that the next person that you tell about Jesus is going to be defensive. Just be ready to give an answer. It's not often that I get a major objection from people as I share the gospel. A lot of times, people are simply glad that we're willing to share with them. After all, we can't be selfish with this wonderful truth that we know. It's not our job to convert people, that's the Lord's, but it is our job to tell the story of how Jesus saved us and how he'll do the same for them if they'll merely ask. This is our focus this week at Evangelism Explosion through all of our social media channels and through our daily broadcast. We'll be giving away a pocket guide called Reasonable Answers to Honest Skeptics. It's a great tool to pair with the story of how Jesus has changed your life. Visit sharelife.today for this resource that's going to help you share and defend your faith. May God richly bless you this week as you're trained to share the gospel and walk in the love of Jesus Christ.